Good day everyone, I'm Mark Mason. Welcome to your instructional online video. Today we are going to talk about a trick I call Killer in Manila. Great name, you'll see why later. It's to do with a Manila envelope killer trick, of course. Alex Attores' take on the sign card to nest of envelopes. I love this premise. I already do a trick that is a sign card to an envelope. This is so good, so clever. Double envelopes, really inside. They can take it out. It's so good, so smart. Killer in Manila. Watch this. Welcome everyone to the performance of the Killer in Manila. Today I'm going to introduce the legend himself, the superstar, Mr. Dave Krug.
Hey, Mark.
Was that better, Dave? Did you like that introduction?
Better than usual.
Yeah, better than usual, right? Because normally I just laugh. But easy. Dave, we're going to do a card trick. 52, every single card is different.
Okay.
It really is, by the way, and you really can have absolutely any. Who would you like?
That one.
Do you want to change to any other?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, he wants to change today. Yeah, I don't know. He always wants to change. You can look at it. You can take it. It doesn't matter even if I see it.
Okay.
Could you write Dave Krug on there, or a Dave or something? Just write me something on there. All right, Dave. Now, so far, all what's actually happened is I've given you a pen. You've selected any card, and you've written your name on there from a regular deck. Now, you've probably seen, because you can see everything, over here I have an envelope.
Okay.
Yeah? Now, inside that envelope, there's $20.
Ooh.
I never said I'm giving it to you, Dave. I just said there's $20. If I don't find your card, I'll give you the 20. And I promise you there's a real 20 in there.
Okay.
All right? Now, that's pretty fair, right? Now, don't forget, it's any card in any deck, and that's your name, right, Dave?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to put your card roughly in the middle. I hope they can see that at home. And I'm going to give them 2 cuts and spread them. All right, like that. How's that look?
That looks good.
How's that? How about if you found your card? That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Dave, I want you to touch any card you like. Any. And if you don't find it, $20 for you, Dave.
Okay.
Touch any card you like. Which one?
That one.
Is that your card, Dave?
No.
That's why I do the tricks and you just watch. Dave, the envelope's been in full view at all time. Inside this envelope, Dave, there's something very, very interesting. It is, it is, Dave, another envelope. Take that, Dave. Inside that envelope, Dave, is the $20. Oh. Look, I promise you it's in here. $20, Dave.
Nice.
And I said I'd give you that if I didn't find your card, didn't I?
Yes.
And here it is for you, Dave. There's the... Oh, hang on, Dave. There's something in the envelope.
Okay.
Hang on, maybe I did find something. If this was one card really inside, and it had Dave written right across there, that would be an absolute miracle. And that is called the Killer in Manila. Okay, here's what you've received in your Killer in Manila package. First of all, let me explain. Killer in Manila. It's a Manila envelope, this. So obviously it's a killer trick inside a Manila envelope. I thought of that. What do you think? Killer in Manila. Pretty good, right? Here's what you've received. By the way, you don't receive $20. Will you stop asking me, all right? You use your own money. We'll talk about the money at the end. You have received one Manila envelope. This is the outside envelope. It is not gimmicked in any way, shape or form. If you really want to, you can put a sticky tab here. So it's inside a sealed envelope. Now me, I already think it's impossible to be inside 2 things anyway. So this is regular. Here comes the very interesting bit. This envelope has 2, well, first of all, let's talk about the back. You have 2 big magnets here and 1 magnet here. Then you have 2 flaps with a magnet here. And this can come round, listen, and lock here or here. So it can lock here. Or if you push both flaps around, it can lock here and be an envelope again. At the back, it would now look like that. But really, it's the opposite of that. Now, I must be honest, when you first look at this, you go, what is this? It's absolutely genius. The double magnetic flap allows you to load a sign card inside the envelope. I've added the money as well, but you'll see that in a second. All right, so that's what that is. Yeah. And then you have the inside, what's going to represent the inside of the envelope with two magnets that line up with these. All right, all that's done for you. You don't have to do anything. This will also have this little word here. All right, that's the company I buy the envelopes from before they're made into gimmicks, because at the end we want it to look like the same. All right, but that's really now the gimmick. That's the gimmick now. If I pull it halfway out, you'll see. That's the gimmick. All right, so that's what you've received. One regular envelope here, one special envelope, and a magnetic card. You could have blue. Don't start panicking. You're just going to use a blue deck, obviously, if you've got blue. Also, one final thing. There's two small dots here. You can see the magnets through there. That's a great shot. Can you just see that magnet in there? That is just for the orientation. Later on, I'll explain that as well. That's everything you have received. We are now ready to go to the setup chapter. Okay, so now we need to talk about the setup. It's very, very easy, but as you know, I like to split everything up so you can follow along. So come on down. I'm going to show you how I like to do it. First of all, this envelope isn't gimmicked in any way. It's just an envelope. You need to have your gimmick envelope this way around. Now, it's easy to spot. Can you see close up? It's squared off. You don't want it this way, where it's rounded. You need to have it squared off. All right, and that's it, like set. Now, I like to put money in as well. If you're going to put money in, turn the envelope over and slide it in here and here and push it down to the bottom. You can put anything in. You could put euros in, a £10 note in. I don't know where you live. I don't know where this set's ended up. But obviously you just change that and put this in instead. All right. Now, if you opened the double flap, there'll be a gap. There's meant to be. You would see the money. All right. But we're not going to do that. I'm just showing you where that ends up. So on the back, that's in here. You now need to put this into your envelope with the flap side to the right, my right. The magnets are here and here. Here on the left. Goes in here. And I don't push it all the way in. I put it so it's almost level at the top. Can you see the white showing? Perfect. If you want to fasten that down, you can. This is all special sizes, so nothing can move. It's exactly perfect. This goes here, like so. The magnetic card with the two dots that have to line up to this are on my left, second down. My left, second down. That's where it is. Everything is in a card box. These can be in your pocket or wherever you want it to be. You are now ready to perform the killer in Manila. Okay, so here's the explanation of the signed card to double sealed envelopes. You don't need a special table. You do not have to spread the deck. Obviously, I'm in a studio, so I have that advantage. However, I will show you a way of doing it squared up. I don't mention the envelope first. In fact, usually it's in a pocket. There is a reason for that. It's a very good reason as well. Take the deck out. Yep. This is here, remember. Have the card selected. Any card. I'm going to use Dave again. By pure luck, we got a nice white card, and I'm going to use that again for explanation purposes. Dave takes out his card, and I ask him to sign it. And I say, Dave, I'd like you to sign your name. Now, the problem you have when you sign anything that's going to go next to something white is you don't want this to come off. So I let him sign it, and after he signed it, I say, Dave, you've picked any card, you've signed your name on there, you know you could have had any card you like. That passes 10 seconds. I then say, I also have an envelope. Inside this envelope is something you might want. In fact, there's a $20 bill, €10, £10, Chinese yen, whatever you've got in here. All I'm doing is buying time to make sure this is dry. Takes about 15 seconds if you buy a proper Sharpie, all right? I don't want to put this next to this wet and have this covered in ink after 10 performances. The one you're looking at's done lots. Look, it looks like brand new. Yep, there's no ink on there at all. Now, I need to get Dave's sign card above this one. Really, really easy. I'm going to do Tilt, or the Vernon Depth Illusion if you want its proper name. And all I'm going to do is lift up the back of this one single card. This can be any. I'm just lifting up the back so it's on an angle. And I'm going to slide this card into the middle of the deck. Now, because this is high and this is low, you get it looks like it's going down, but really it's just going on top. It's baby magic, right? You lift this up at the back and you push this into the middle of the deck. But really it's just going here next to the white card. The dots are still in the same place on my left. All I've got to do now is get rid of the card that was acting as the depth. And to do that, I just double cut, actually I'll do it this way so you can see, this card to the bottom. So I take everything and I leave this card behind and cut everything back to the top. Their sign card is now on top of the dot card. Here it is again. Lift up at the back, create the depth illusion, cut the cards around, leave this card on the bottom of this half where the 4 of diamonds is, and cut everything back around. Their card is now here. I now spread the deck and say, Dave, try and find your card. I keep these fairly square. They don't have to be bang on, but try and keep them squarish. I'll talk about no table at the end, all right? You might not have a table, you can still do this, like this. I say to Dave, now the camera, I can't misdirect the camera, it sees everything. As soon as I pick this up, it sees it. When I put it over, it sees it. But in real life, I say to Dave, I want you to take out any card. So say you wanted this one and I push this forward, and at that moment I steal here. Yeah, I steal this here. At that moment, it goes underneath. It magnetically picks this up. All right, I've got so much time. Or I'll have this in front here and I'll just move this backwards and steal this. So an open view is this outside envelope is going to pick up the cards, but really it's the envelope inside that have picked them up. The magnets are on that envelope. That's a great shot there. I can even drop this down again and say, come on Dave, which one do you like? Are you sure? Now don't forget, if I don't find your card, I'll give you the $20 in the envelope. Wrong card. Of course it's the wrong card. We know that his card is really here and under here. Now we need to do the removal. And the removal's really important because it doesn't work how you all think it would work at home. Let me show you how it doesn't work. You can't just grab the white envelope and pull. Look what happens. Because this magnet is pulling through the envelope onto another magnet, it leaves this card behind. And I can't do that. If I leave that card behind, their signed card isn't going to be in the envelope. So, let me reset this. This is here and here. I pull this up about an inch, slowly, and that will stay together. Now, the first finger goes on this bottom edge here, and you squeeze the inside envelope here and here, and you pull this envelope away. It will always stay as a double. Always. It won't flash, it won't show anywhere, it will stay as a double. Envelope back in, cards back underneath, pull up about an inch slowly. This looks like this. Squeeze with this finger onto the fleshy part. Finger is bent to keep square. Pull the envelope away. Now they can look at this envelope. Our situation is gimmick inside of envelope. That, what I mean by that is that's going to represent the inside of the envelope. Their sign card and my envelope. Now I know this is slightly different to what it finishes. They are so surprised when you take this out, and they only get a second to look. Now we need important. If I open this too slow, they'll see there's a gap. Can you see? Yeah, perfect. There's two flaps going to be moved. So I put my thumb under the flap and I put my finger under and I just move to the side. Now the back is represented by the gimmick. That is so strong to be able to let that go. Really, it looks like this. That is so good, really, because usually on all these you're stealing from behind, but this you can just hold on the very, very flap. They get excited because they see $20, 20 euros, 20 pounds, 10, it doesn't matter what the money is. I start to give them this, and then I see this. Oh, hang on a minute. I drop the money, or pocket the money if you prefer, and I go, it couldn't be, could it? Inside an envelope, inside another envelope, look at this illusion. Look at this. You would swear that's inside this envelope. Really, it's not. It's coming, if I lift all this up, it's coming through here. That's locked. That's the magnet. That's here. And this comes out. Now, you've got a double edge here, and I don't know if we can get a bad shot. It's hard. Perfect. Look at that. You don't want to turn it that way. Otherwise, they might flash the double edge. There's no choice. It has to double edge. So I always keep it this way. And even if the camera comes down to this, it's very, very hard to see there's a double edge there because it's stepped down towards me. There's their sign card inside the nest of envelopes. I have to say, and I'm not just saying this, that is absolutely brilliant. Laymen think it's a miracle. Sign card underneath money in an envelope in another envelope. Fantastic trick. The killer in Manila. Well, I'm going to wrap up this video on Killer in Manila with just a few thoughts. My first thought, obviously, is a big thanks to Alex Latorre, because without doubt, this double flap idea is definitely Alex's, and what a fantastic idea. I'm so happy to represent this idea for Alex. Me and Alex have talked a lot on Skyping and Facebooking and etc. The key part to this is when you open the double flap, you've got to kind of whip it over, and if you don't, they'll see through for a second. And you don't want that to happen. Now, I like to move. Now, it's hard to misdirect the camera, but I'll start to open here, and I'll turn to one side here. Now, the back is filled in with the gimmick. And that's really important, all right? Don't try and go, look, 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 look. You can't hide the gap. So make sure that that is covered. Don't worry about these two little squared off sections. They don't see it for very long. It comes out of here, remember? Squeeze, out, cover, open. Don't flash here. come here and here, and then immediately hold just the tip. I didn't say much about this in the explanation, but that display for me lets everybody know it's not behind. It is behind, but it lets everybody know that it can't be, can it? It's coming out of the inside. And those little tips are really important and what differentiate it from all the others. That when that comes out and it's got their name on, you are absolutely so clean. They always want to look at this. The first ones had holes. Alex had a hole here. We changed that and cleaned it all up. I really hope you love this trick as much as I've loved showing you it today. I call it Killer in Manila, and I think it deserves the title. That is a killer magic trick.